Are you eating? Look at that. They're eating their dinner. You ate all your lettuce already. Penelope, Phoebe, Piper, Ayala. Hi everyone, so today's episode of Dolly Tales is going to be about dolls we were jealous of as kids, thus the title, Green-Eyed Monsters. So these are dolls that friends or family members had when we were growing up that we secretly wanted, and of course we later on got ourselves. Obviously there are a few dolls we're going to mention that we don't have to this day. But before we dive in and show you the dolls, I do want to have a disclaimer that we're not trying to say that our friends or family members were spoiled and that we were like these poor children who didn't have dolls. This is honestly all in good fun. I think it's normal when you're a kid to be like jealous of other people's toys.
And we were all in the same like rough income bracket, pretty equal.
Everyone's situation is different, and just because you have a friend that had more toys, that doesn't mean that they had a better childhood than you. We did have a lot of secondhand toys compared to our friends because our parents were really into like secondhand shopping. So I think sometimes that's part of why we were jealous, because friends would have like brand new stuff.
Like stuff we'd just seen on commercials.
Yeah, so there was kind of that appeal, but like I personally wouldn't have traded like what we had growing up for what our friends had.
No.
But that's actually why we like buying bins of dolls. Like as a side note, at the flea market we love buying lots of dolls because it's kind of like satisfying that childhood dream of like
having all your friends' stuff.
Yeah. So I'm gonna kick off the video with an American Girl item. When I was in first grade, I had this friend named Molly, and she used to bring this husky over to my house to play, and I really loved hers. So for a good report card in 1998, when Colleen got her Josephina doll growing up, Mom and Dad let me get this husky and the kitty cat costume. Now he's missing his nose because our dog Skippy ate it off. But yeah, I actually ended up with my own not long after I saw my friends. Now he's kind of like McKenna's dog.
Yeah, he's been hanging out with her lately. So, growing up, Shelly had a friend named Ashley who lived like slant way across the street from us. And she got a lot of the newer Barbies because she was the youngest of 3 kids. And
yeah, her half-siblings were in high school and college.
Right, they're significantly older than her. So she ended up with like, she got a lot of toys.
Yeah.
The doll of hers that I coveted most was Polly Pocket Stacy, and I would love to go to her house just to play with her Polly Pocket Stacy. Like if Mom needed me to go there with Shelly, like if no one else was home to watch me. She had like, her doll was brand new, so she had a little backpack and the Polly, and like I had so much fun with it. My doll I got not that long after, because I was only in, I want to say 3rd grade when we got Stacy and Whitney. I mentioned it before, but Mom's parents, they worked at Salvation Army, and they actually found us Stacy and Whitney. And but my doll was never new. Like Ashley's, or at least I never had her when she was new.
We only had one Polly Pocket each.
It was really cool getting her though, like when I was still young. So yes, this is my childhood doll.
See what happens?
Yes, he's laying on the dolls.
Here, I'll show you. Hey, is that where we're supposed to be, Boo-Bun? While we're talking about Ashley's dolls, now she was my friend from like, I can't even remember, from when I was really young until like 3rd grade. And I would go over her house all the time, and we were like best friends. And she had these really cool holiday dolls that she would get sometimes, and they were like the cheap grocery ones. But I'm a sucker for like budget dolls. So she had Caroling Fun Barbie and Holiday Treats Barbie. Now I think she got them like obviously not the same time, because she is dated 97 and she is dated 95, but she did have both of these. And I always liked Caroling Fun Barbie because she looked a lot like Pet Doctor Barbie, because she has the same like bent arms and same hairstyle. And I thought that this was a really cool like wintry outfit, so I kind of imagined my Pet Doctor Barbie in this outfit. And then I loved Holiday Treats Barbie because I just thought she was so magical and beautiful. She has a really beautiful face. I specifically remember being under Ashley's Christmas tree when she showed me this doll, and I was like so unbelievably jealous. And I did play with her a lot from my recollection. I really liked her super dark eyebrows. Now, both of mine I got boxed. I got her boxed at the flea market for a few dollars, and I got her boxed at the Savers for like $4.
Someone we knew, and I want to say it was also Ashley, had a Splash and Color Skipper. And I wasn't like super into Skipper at the time, but I did notice that the doll had like the same kind of like body as Daphne, my Teen Time Courtney doll. And Shelly was jealous of Ashley's Splash and Color Skipper doll too because of the awesome hair.
Yes.
And she has these like really loud, really awesome earrings, and she's just like a really cool doll. So
her face is really beautiful.
I do vaguely remember Ashley having one. This doll was actually in my dad dolls segment. I got her for Easter 2003 when we were with Dad at our local flea market. So her name's Venus. She's really special to me.
Another one of my favorites that Ashley had. I probably remember more about her childhood dolls than she would, to be honest.
I know.
She had a Tropical Splash Barbie. I remember we were sitting on her couch one day and she was showing me her new Barbie. And I mean, these were like basic dolls, like let's be honest. It's not like Ashley's mom was buying her like these extravagant things. But I loved her huge earrings, and I've always been a sucker for beach dolls. And this is like a very glamorous beach look, and she smells amazing. Like, my doll doesn't really have a scent anymore. I actually have a few of these.
Your Christy still smells amazing.
This is the one I had growing up. I got her in like 2003, 2004 with another Tropical Splash Barbie. They were just in a flea market bin that we bought, and I immediately recognized her. I didn't know the name of the doll, but I knew like, oh, that was the doll Ashley had. So I really, really love her.
Ashley also had some Ken dolls with rooted hair that even before I was like really into the Ken phase, because I didn't really get into like the Ken dolls until like 2003-ish, I really was jealous because she had some Kens with rooted hair and none of ours had rooted hair at the time.
Just Lee Shang.
She had Shaven Fun Ken.
Cool Shaven.
Cool Shaving Ken. I think it was this Shaving Ken. It might have been a different Shaving Ken.
They made quite a few in
but
the 90s.
I thought it was really awesome that he had like the beard and they came with the shaving stuff, and just like the realism of that, like, oh, you make Ken shave, and he's just like really cute. So I was jealous of him. And I was also jealous of, she had the Ken and Tommy set, the Big Brother set. And I was jealous for two reasons. I was jealous, A, because really cool Ken doll. And B, because I was really, really into Kelly at the time. And that was before I had my Power Wheels Tommy growing up. So it was really cool, like, having, like, seeing a Tommy and a Ken together.
I liked
like
the baby supplies he came with.
So cute. So I have a few of these Kens. Two are from the Ken suitcase. I want to say this is the nicest one from the Ken suitcase, along with Tommy, and this doll is also from the Ken suitcase bin.
And yeah,
which was one of the earliest things we got on this channel.
Now, my absolute 100% favorite doll that Ashley had, and this one stayed with me, like specifically in my memory, was Baywatch Barbie. She also had Teresa, but I do not have Teresa. I loved anything like ocean related as a kid. I mean, I still do, but because I had Ocean Friends Barbie, she kind of reminded me of her because she came with a dolphin, and I liked her outfit, and she's just really gorgeous. I love this this style of 90s facial screenings, and she's got this beautiful saran hair. I was so jealous, and every time we went over Ashley's house, I had to play with Baywatch. Colleen remembers this, like,
I do.
I would have gone right for Baywatch. I would go through her huge container of Barbie stuff behind their couch in the living room, and I would find Baywatch Barbie. It took me a long time to find my own. This isn't my first one. I have a few others, but this is my first boxed one. I got her at the local flea market from actually the woman we got our 92 Sharon sisters from recently, if you watched Dolly Diaries.
And we got the Ken.
Yeah, and we have Ken. Ashley had Ken too. I remember she had the jet ski.
Jealous. Another thing I was jealous of, we don't have, but I brought up something that represents it to me, is Ashley had the Stacie bunk bed, and I was like, oh my god, I could die for the Stacie bunk bed. Yeah, early 90s or mid 90s. I really wanted it. So when I was an adult in my late 20s or early 30s, and they had a Stacie doll sold with the bunk bed, this sister's bunk bed Stacie, I actually chose her over the Vanity Skipper from like the same wave, because I just loved the idea of Stacie with the bunk bed so much. And I kind of think my bunk bed set is cooler, not like, I'm not just saying this either because it's what I have, but because I like how it has 2 actual bunks and a little trundle bed. But I would still absolutely die to have the 90s one. My name is doll Elizabeth, and I bought her at Walmart as an adult. And yep, I like stalked her. I wanted her to go on sale, and she's very special. And another Ashley doll is, like I said, I was really into the Kelly dolls at the time. And Ashley had Bath Time, Fun Kelly, the blonde. Shelly had the AA doll, and we named her, at the time we called her Kelsey, now we call her Leslie. And she was my favorite of the Kelly dolls we had at the time.
That was my first Kelly doll.
So I thought like the blonde variation was really, really cool. We really wanted the one we didn't have, the blonde variant. And Ashley also had one of these Mealtime Kellys. A lot of people, I don't just remember Ashley having one because so many people had these Mealtime Fun Kellys. They were like the #1 birthday gift going around that year, like because they were affordable and they came with some cool accessories. And I feel like there was even like a McDonald's store for her. She was very popular that year, sold really well, which is why we have so many second hands. Yeah, and I actually did have my own childhood doll that I named Michelle, but she got really battered. So who is this?
She's from the Teresa lot, if I'm not mistaken. My dad bought me boxed at a little indoor flea market. It was one of the last few months he was alive and one of the last times that we went out. And she was like only $10, and her stuff wasn't faded. My other one that I had gotten boxed years before had been really faded.
So I had a friend named Missy, and she had a couple of sisters, one older, who wasn't into dolls anymore, so her toys ended up in Missy or her sister Mandy's room. So it was Missy and Mandy had a lot of dolls between them, but none of them were nice. They were kind of like falling apart because they weren't very nice to them.
Yeah, they used to like, I remember they'd like smack them. Like if you played dolls with them, they were like brutal, like smacking the dolls on the floor, and dolls were missing arms.
Yeah, and actually speaking of missing arms, they had a first edition Stacy who was missing an arm. I was absolutely in love with the first edition Stacy, and I wanted to take her home, and I remember playing with her and like
even though
taking
she
pity
was
on her. And, well, she had her arm, it just kept popping off. I think this is Minnie, who I got from the Tycho Eric guy. I didn't get my first one, who was Millie, until I was in my teens, and she was kind of woebegone. Maybe not as much as Missy's doll, but she was pretty woebegone. Minnie's a lot nicer, and
we've shown her in a lot of episodes of Dolly Tales, but Colleen insisted that school photographer Becky appear again. And I've told this story in previous episodes, but Mandy had school photographer Becky, and I got to play with her one day at her house, and we played with her in the 1978 dream house. And I'll insert a little clip of what that looks like in a second because we had it upstairs for the thumbnail. But theirs was obviously secondhand, but I loved the house and I loved Becky. So this is the 1979 dream house we are referring to. We had it upstairs for the thumbnail, so that's why we're filming this clip up here instead of where it's displayed downstairs. But yeah, ours is obviously not in the best shape because it was secondhand.
But the one you coveted was also.
Exactly, so I never got to see it in like its full glory with all of its like windows and planters. But we are lucky enough to have these two pieces, which you're supposed to kind of connect however you want. Now, I got this Becky at Toys R Us not long after I saved up my allowance money, but she wasn't as attractive as their Becky. I think they had like the other variant, like the one we got as adult boxed. But yeah, Colleen played with this one a lot. You can tell her knees are
I love loose. Becky. She's one of my favorite. And the thing that I actually like best at Missy's house, I would like spend hours playing with when I was sleeping over. Like it was like my motivation for going over there really was she had the Nibbles horse and the Feed and Fun stable, which I threw in the thumbnail. Shelly's friend Ashley actually had the Barbie with the shirt that matched the blanket, which was like really cool. So I remember these horses and like the stuff that was marketed with them being really iconic. This is not one of our childhood horses.
No.
For Christmas '96, the year I got Molly, we each got one, and that was like at the time because, you know, I'd wanted Molly for 6 months, but kids are very like quick to move on to the next thing, and I kind of given up on getting her already, so I was like mostly looking for Nibbles. Where did you get this, Nibbles?
I got her at the flea market when I was like 12.
Okay, is she the one you got with the stable?
I think she was with the Feed and Fun stable.
Yeah, and we actually have 2 Feed and Fun stables now, and
yeah, I got
so
an extra
fun.
one later.
Shelly actually played with our Feed and Fun stable a lot, which is funny because I was the one who played with Becky, and she's the one who
It was
played with Feed and Fun stable.
my Starlight Unicorn horse's stable. I named her Ocean, and she was my Sparkling Jasmine's horse. This is like history. One day we'll do a Dolly Tales episode on like some of our
like our like main like cast members.
yeah, because we do reference them and use them a lot in like our skits, and so it might make more sense to people like what their relationships are. I mean, they always kind of changed. Mandy also had a walking Barbie and Chrissy set, Chrissy's first appearance. I fell in love with Barbie because I have always, for some reason, loved dolls with 2 braids, and she had this really pretty modern facial screening, and she came with a baby doll, and Colleen had told me that we weren't allowed to have Chrissy in the house.
It was one of those things I boycotted.
Yeah, when we say we boycotted Barbies as kids, it wasn't serious. I swear, guys, it was just really dumb. Like, we were bored, and we were like, let's boycott Mattel, and cool. So anyways, I wanted to play with this set, and I was really jealous of it. And I didn't get my own until I was an adult. I had a Chrissy, my first Chrissy I got as a kid at the flea market. But then I got my first walking Barbie also at the flea market, but in 2011. But this is my second one, and I believe she came from the Happy Family bin. I think I can tell because she's wearing my childhood raggedy top that I got with my first baby. The one I got from the Filthy Disney bin is wearing a nicer shirt.
Friend Lisa, who we like still hang out with all the time, we would go over her house a lot, and I remember one year for their birthdays they each got one of these butterfly princess Barbies. I think it was from their grandmothers, and I was so jealous because they had the ones with butterflies, and I love pink, and I was like so jealous. And Shelly says she remembers like that we played with them on like the front porch. I just thought these were really beautiful, and to me they were iconic when I saw them at Sarah and Lisa's.
My doll, she was a loose head floating around the Memorial Day bin of 2014. It was the most disgusting flea market lot we got, except for the Oldie Moldies lot we got this summer. Hands down, it was disgusting. She had mold all over her head, no body, and this dress I got in like 2003 or 2004 in a lot at the flea market. So she was reunited body and outfit. Lisa also had Kitty Fun Barbie. Now, I actually bought her Kitty Fun Barbie, or Mom bought her Kitty Fun Barbie for one of her birthdays. And I remember this commercial so well, and we loved it because she has a cat named Marshmallow. We had a cat named Marshmallow at the time who was a stray cat that our dad rescued when he was a kitten because his mom got hit by a car, and Dad felt bad for him and brought him home.
And we had Marshmallow for a while. He was a really good cat, and we just thought it was awesome Barbie's cat had the same name as ours.
There's pictures of him in our Dolls from the Photo Album episode if you want to see. He's in our teepee. He was a white cat with a green eye and a blue eye. So I remember playing with Lisa's Kitty Fun Barbie and like the little colorful litter and making Marshmallow pee in the litter. It took me until I was an adult to get Kitty Fun Barbies. Now I had my African American dolls and my brunette doll before her, but I got her in summer of 2012. Our cousin's now wife gave us her childhood Kitty Fun Barbie, and we were really excited to have her. The last dolls that I really remember being jealous of that Lisa and Sarah had was the Magic Carpet gift set. These were actually Lisa's sister's Sarah's dolls, and Sarah didn't really like play with them. She kind of like collected dolls. Like she kept them in her room on display because she like thought that was cooler. And she had this really awesome set, and every time we would be over I would want to look at them because I thought that they were the most magnificent thing ever, because Aladdin was my favorite movie growing up, well, Disney movie, and I loved the dolls. I thought they were beautiful, and we always had horrible luck with Aladdin dolls. They got broken, they got lost. We could make a whole Dolly Tales episode
Aladdin dolls
on just like the fate of Aladdin and Pocahontas dolls, because we had a ton of them growing up and they all died. I ended up getting my set in 2011 on eBay for $25, and that included shipping. I got their carpet separately though. I already had their carpet.
I'm sure we all have in our group of friends this friend that at every party is like left out and made to sit in like the back of the car by herself. That was me at every party, like in elementary school. Like I just wasn't I was usually left out for some reason. I remember, and I would always be like in the back seat, like we were on our way to the movies or something. I would always be in the back of someone's van, like looking the wrong way, so I was facing the cars coming like behind us instead of facing the other way. I remember one year, I don't know what everybody else was doing, but I was by myself in this girl named Liz's room at her birthday, and she had her Kelly nursery school before I had mine, and I was so jealous. And along with the nursery school, which I didn't bring mine up for the thumbnail because it's old and falling apart, but along with the nursery school, she also had a Chelsea doll like this.
Birthday Chelsea.
I thought she was absolutely adorable, which is actually Shelly's doll. We got her with like our zoo pals, Stacy and Kelly, indoors at our local flea market when we were in our teens. So she's really cool.
I wasn't in my teens.
Well, I was in mine and you were like 12. Another thing that Liz had that I was really jealous of was that one year she got this American Girl doll cooler that had like the little frosted brownie and a little sub and like, oh my god, it was so cool. I still want that cooler.
We had a second cousin growing up who was actually not far in age from me.
Only a few years younger.
Yeah, only like three years younger than me.
About that, yeah.
Dad would always buy her like dolls and stuff for the holidays. Now, I just want to say that I was never the kid that really cared if someone else liked the same things as me or had the same
I was
things
possessive.
as me. I wasn't like, I didn't have special snowflake syndrome.
I did.
I didn't have a problem with that. However, there were 2 times in my life where I did have a problem with it. And I think most of it had to do with losing mom and then kind of like dad buying me things that were supposed to be like special for me. So if you know anything about my channel, you know why I love Bratz so much. I have a whole video on why I love Bratz, but basically it was something like dad would buy me Bratz dolls after my mom passed away, and they became like a really special thing between us. And for my birthday in 2003, he bought me the Bratz Style and Salon and Spa with Fiona, the pink version with the doll in the white robe. And that was one of my favorite Bratz dolls and Bratz sets from childhood. And then that Christmas, so Christmas 2003, we were at the same Kmart and they had a sale on the other version of the spa. So it was the yellow spa with this Fiona in the green robe. It's just,
so cool.
It's the same doll, but she wears like a different outfit and has a different colored spa. Now I thought when I saw the sale that Dad was going to buy me the other set, because it was only like $20.
Yeah, it was like wicked cheap.
I was like really excited, but then he informed me he was in fact going to buy it for our second cousin, and I was outraged.
And she was like outraged / crestfallen, and
that is why I was upset about the Fiona thing. Now, I did get my own Fiona in 2011. She was from a lot of Bratz we got from Craigslist. Craigslist number 1, one of my most infamous Bratz lots, and one of the reasons why I have so many, because there was like 70 something dolls in that lot. So she's really special, and no hard feelings or anything, but I admit that, you know, there was kind of that salty part of me when I got this doll that was like, I can't believe that Dad got Kate that doll, not me.
would you like some fries with the salt?
That's my line.
Another thing that Dad got Caitlin, and we were always jealous when he bought other people dolls. I mean, of course, because dolls was like our like
Mom
obsession.
picked out the set too.
Yes, and Mom helped Dad pick this out. She got a dancing miniature Cinderella like this.
And she came with the Prince Charming.
But ours isn't the dancing.
This is musical princess.
Because obviously Mom and Dad didn't love us enough to get us the dancing. Yeah, this is our musical princess that does not come with Prince Charming.
We were really into the minis.
Yes.
So I think that's why we were really jealous of it.
We got ours at actually the same antique store we just got Shelly's Pioneer Barbie from. Very recently. So we've had her since I want to say 2015.
They won't see that until Dolly Diaries Holiday Edition.
Yes, well, look out for a new face in the Holiday Edition.
And the last dolls are all from this girl I was friends with in like 5th and 6th grade named Chelsea. She would come over my house and I would go over her house. She was kind of the last like friend I really had. I mean, there was that one girl I kind of hung out with sometimes in high school, but other than that, I pretty much like stuck to myself.
At some point we realized that it was just more fun to like hang out ourselves.
I just didn't really relate to kids my own age at a certain point because I was so used to hanging out with like older people and being treated older that I just didn't really relate. Not to say that I was actually mature, but I didn't relate.
And I just explained that I was always that person that was left in the back of a van by herself going to the movies at a party. So obviously I didn't have a lot of friends that were good.
So one time Chelsea brought over all of her dolls to play with, and she had the Jammin Glam tour bus as well as
Jammin Glam tour bus,
as well as all 3 of the Jammin Glam dolls, so Christy, Teresa, and Barbie. I was crazy jealous because I remembered the commercial, and they have hair that like, they have spinning scalps. I would do it, but it would look bad, but you can like switch their scalps around so they can have natural colored hair. And I loved the tour bus, and I really, really, really wanted to have my own because I was a really big fan of dolls with unnaturally colored hair. Now, I did not know at the time I would grow up to have bright orange hair myself because I didn't think that looked good on real people at the time, but I guess it was kind of like a foreshadowing because I just loved dolls with crazy colored hair.
And I actually picked Shelly out the tour bus for her 12th birthday in 2003. I actually, it was on sale, it was like 20 bucks.
Yeah.
And I got Shelly the bus, brand new.
I loved that thing.
So cool.
And I believe all
Yep.
3 of these I got from the Generation Grow bin at the flea market in 2011. That same day that Chelsea brought those over.
She saw something she wanted even more.
And this is like a legacy. She had some Bratz dolls. She had Expressive Yasmin, as I call her, Yasmin, and Megan. She also had, I want to say it was Flaunted Jade, and I think a few others. But I had never played with a Bratz doll before, and I didn't really have like a lot of friends, especially because we were in like 6th grade at the time, so it was like not cool to play with dolls. I was really curious about them, and when I picked them up and Chelsea was explaining to me how their feet worked, I was like, wow, and it was like the quality of the dolls, like the weight. I'm a very like tactile person, very sensitive.
Yeah.
People ask like, how do you know the difference between a fakie and a real doll? It's like, for me, it's like weight and smell and feel. Like even as a little kid, I could spot like a fake doll from a real one because
A fake doll.
Yes. And I just was like enamored by them because their clothes were so nice and they were so cool, and up close they had these really interesting faces. So that is how I got into Bratz dolls, and I have told this story before, and I have shown Yaz in Dolls That Changed Our Collection, that video. I got her at KB Toys a few weeks later. Dad took me out to buy my own, and I literally picked out the exact doll Chelsea had, and I wanted Megan also in part because she was advertised in the FM Cruiser in the Toys R Us catalog that year for Christmas. But I wanted the rest of the line for Christmas except Chloe. Poor Chloe. I got Beach Party Chloe after Christmas though, so I did get a Chloe. These are 2 of my favorites from childhood, and I love them. And you can tell how well I took care of Megan because look at that hair. So yeah. So those are all of the dolls that we were jealous of. Again, this is not like serious. We're not bad-mouthing anyone. This is just...
Well, they did leave me in the back of the van a lot, so...
Yeah. I mean, even if we're not friends with all of these people except Lisa, that's not, like, you know, we were kids and let the past be in the past kind of thing. We got the dolls we wanted, so we hope you guys enjoyed. And all these dolls are pictured on my Flickr, all the play sets we referenced. If you want to see like what they came with, if you want to see better pictures of the play sets and things like that, you can check out my Flickr. Everything's organized into albums. You do not need a Flickr to look at my pictures. Anyone can look at all of my pictures and read it. If you want to comment there, that's when you need an account. So until next time, love your dolls, love yourself, and love your life.